So let's start with you saying your name and where you are now, please.
My name is Veronika Zhemchuzhnikova. I am in my office, in my studio, and I live in Kazakhstan. My city is called Almaty. So I live here for all my life. So this is where I live, and I'm a woman. I'm 43 now, and I'm Gestalt therapist, of course.
Yeah.
Supervisor and trainer.
And
this is who am I?
What did you say?
This is who I am.
Yes, yeah.
Partly, but maybe some more identities, but I think it's enough for
what's the time
beginning.
What's the time difference between us? Here is, here is 20 past 1 p.m. and at your place, what's the time?
It's 20 past 5.
5. I can.
So it's 4 hours. 4 hours.
4.
Yeah.
I can see. Yeah. It's there. Yeah. 4. So so 3 hours. 3 hours. Yeah.
3 hours. Okay.
Okay, and you said office in a studio, so it's.
I don't know how it's better to describe. This is my organization. It's called Gestalt Center Almaty. Yes, and it's the office of this organization where I work with clients. So this is how to say studio office or the place of work.
So this is like, so this is not only your office, but it is a part of organization office.
Yes. We conduct groups here. Yes, some meetings. So other psychologists work here also. Work with me, my colleagues.
Okay.
So this is
and you said Gestalt Center.
Gestalt Center Almaty. Almaty. This is the name of my city.
Yes, and and I don't know the name of the city, but I am not. I am not good at geography. I bet my boyfriend would know for sure. So is it a big city?
Yes, it's a big city. It's biggest city in Kazakhstan. We have capital for now. It's called Nur-Sultan. But we are former capital. During Soviet time, Alma-Ata was the capital of Kazakh Republic.
So so maybe I can't. Yeah, I will see, because I am really Kazakh Republic. Okay, Sultan. Yeah, so this is because I want to know. I am ashamed a bit that I don't know. So please, can I just take a look at the map and see?
Yes, please.
I mean, as a student, I wasn't that bad at geography. I was really good, and then my ignorance started, and I don't like it. And I remember that Kazakhstan is a very big country.
Yes, between Russia and China.
Yes.
Usually I describe it like this. Where is it? People ask me in Europe usually.
Yeah. So tell me.
Maybe someday you can come and I will show you.
Whole country. Like I'm looking, seeing how big it is. So it's like Caspian Sea. You have this Caspian Sea in the west, yes, and big mountains. Well, very big mountains. No, wow. Okay, impressive. So, yeah, just to see Poland here. Okay, it's not that small, but it's like many Polands in Kazakhstan. See. And there is this big Aha, a big lake. Yes.
Yeah, Balkhash. You
Aha.
mean Balkhash?
Yes. Bahash. Bahash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Is it beautiful?
Yeah.
Is it beautiful or?
We have a lot of things: mountains, deserts, a lot of space.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Is it okay that I'm asking you about it? Is it?
Yeah, it's okay. Yes, yes. I'm glad you're interested in
Okay.
our place
Yeah.
in my country. Mhm.
Of course. You know, it's a bit like. I guess I will justify myself only that because of psychotherapy, I guess that I concentrated so much on myself and not on my
Mm.
external world. And it's only until it's only recently that I am starting, you know, to expand again. Uh, have you noticed such a perspective in yourself? Have you noticed such a have you observed something like this in yourself, that psychotherapy somehow forces you to concentrate so much on your inner process? Hmm.
Yeah, maybe somehow, but for me, it's also important the environment, social environment, city environment, also in psychotherapy work.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm interested in everything
yeah, and
that is around. And,
yeah, which is
Mhm.
obviously true, and yet and it's interesting. So your city, if I could continue just for a moment, and I will then stop. Sorry. So it's in which parts of Kazakhstan?
In the south.
In the south.
Yes, near another big lake, but this lake is Sikulin, Kyrgyzstan.
Okay.
And between this lake and near the border
Okay.
in the south, you can find Almaty.
Uh-huh. Ah, so it starts with A.
Yes, Almaty.
Almaty. Okay. Mhm. Let me see.
Have you
Almaty.
found?
Okay, yes, I've got.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, because there is some other smaller but also big, as I imagine, lake, and and close to the border with what? With Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan.
There's
Yeah.
also a lake.
Yeah.
I've got a nice map here with seeing those mountains and, as you said, vast areas of deserts. Mm. So you, wow. So you live very, yeah. Wow. Sorry, because I obviously spoke with people, you know, in America and so on, but I never been to Kazakhstan. I never been there. Um, and do you go to mountains often? Like I was thinking of maybe because people from my country travel often to mountains in Ukraine.
Yeah. Our mountains is bigger. Bigger.
Of course.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's not so often, but usually people go to mountains. It's a popular kind of rest of doing something
Yeah.
on weekend.
Okay, I don't look at the map anymore. Sorry, I will. Yeah, I seriously feel like funny, but okay. So you said this is an organization, and this is like a Gestalt organization. It's an institute, or is it or your organization more? Is it? Do you teach also there, students?
I also teach there, but it's more like a center for now.
For
So
now.
we do some group, yes, with different topics and working with clients and also therapeutical long-term groups. So.
But are you thinking of actually turning into the institute?
Oh, yes, it's a big question for me. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
For a long time, I've been a trainer of Moscow Institute of Gestalt and Psychodrama, and for now, I'm thinking of doing something by myself to provide to organize some programs. And for me, it would be very interesting because I'm like in the process of transformation. Because my first institute was Moscow Gestalt Institute, and 20 years ago was my first education in Gestalt there, and after that I have a long, not long, but I studied in Italian Gestalt Institute for several years with now a little bit another approach. So for now I'm just trying to combine all my Gestalt experience and do something what would be, well, my style.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So an interesting moment of your professional life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exciting. Exciting. And does that mean that there are no Gestalt institutes in Kazakhstan?
Yes, no Gestalt Institute in Kazakhstan. We have our national organization of Gestalt therapy, but all programs are from Gestalt from Russia. Gestalt Institute from St. Petersburg and Moscow. So trainers here work for these programs. Okay. But for now, we don't have our local Gestalt Institute.
But you are thinking intensely about it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That's great, great. Yeah. And wow. So are you? Do you know how many Gestalt therapies are there in Kazakhstan?
Well, I think about 300 all over Kazakhstan. I don't know who is working very actively, but we had many programs in different cities, and in Almaty, in Nur-Sultan.
Okay. Great. So the institute sounds like a good, yeah, as a necessity, in fact.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, interesting process to come and to be, in fact. So sorry to treat you as a representative of Kazakhstan, but you are like, in fact, the first person I interview from your country.
Yeah.
So please excuse me. But I am also interested in the country very much, and how Gestalt looks there, of course. At the same time, when I ask people about their about their life and about their Gestalt, I also am interested in their national organization.
Yeah, of course. Camille, it's okay for me. So besides, I'm also the president of our NOCT, of our national organization of Gestalt therapy for now. It's called Professional Middle Asian Gestalt Society. So this is my job also to speak about Kazakhstan in the international Gestalt community. So I'm glad to describe something about us.
Great. So this is like the NOCT doesn't narrow down, your NOCT doesn't narrow down to Kazakhstan, but it covers Kazakhstan, it includes Kazakhstan. What else?
You know, we have some participants from neighbor countries, but actually now it's about Kazakhstan, but it's old name. We've been established 10 years ago, so we've been thinking of something maybe not centered on Kazakhstan Gestalt Society, but for now it's mostly about Kazakhstan. And of course, if someone from other countries want to be a participant, so it's okay.
Okay, so this is.
We decided to leave this name, but now it's Kazakhstani.
Yeah, I understand. Wow. Okay, and so coming back to you at last and start those questions about that we usually ask. If you were to describe yourself as a human, what are the most important qualities that you have, values that you have?
Okay. Yes, it's very interesting questions. I've been thinking of it for a while. I think one of value is to be kind, the kindness. Yeah, it's important for me to be kind to people, to plants, to people at all, I don't know, to environment, to animals. This is one of my values. And you know, this month I'm reading papers of Soviet and Georgian philosopher Mirab Mamardashvili, and I think his ideas could formulate my value. He said that it's important to practice complexity and diversity. Well, and I think it's also for me very important. And you know, my country and my city, especially my city, is a good teacher for this, because we have many cultures, more than 100 nationalities here. Yeah, Kazakh people, Russian people, Ukrainian, Korean people. So, and we live together here and trying to do something in common, maybe. So I think it's not very simple, but it's finally it's a good thing to be in connection. So, well, and also something like I want to say that I like to travel also. I like to travel to Europe, to be in this field with European society. This is also a very important part of my life.
And do you can you say, do you know what made you this way, that you are that you want to be kind, that you that you are open to diversity, to the other. What maybe what circumstances, what
yes, maybe I will start with what. I think this is my childhood. I was raised in pretty dysfunctional family with emotional abusive environment, and I think I was depressed when I was a little girl, and I was trying to heal myself, to heal, to survive in all these things, and I think it was in nature which helps. What helps me? Yes, because I like sun. I like to be in some places where I could breathe, to perceive the wind or something like this. This is what was important for me. Okay, and also I think this.
Can I ask? Can I ask?
Yeah.
Because you said that you've been living in your city all your life, and So, so is it a city, because it's a big one, as you said, but is it a city, how to put it? Is it more very industrialized, or is it really very green city?
Oh, yes, actually, I live in the green city, and we, even from my office, I can see mountains, very beautiful view. So yes.
Wow. Can you show, or is it not movable, your computer?
I think it will be a little bit complicated.
Yes.
But maybe. No, I think not. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm simply, yeah, interested. Yeah. So it's like, it wasn't a problem for you to find this place, or find the space you were describing.
Yeah.
Wow, lovely. Okay.
Yes. And about persons, I think this is my grandmom. She's a Siberian woman, very strong, sometimes anxious, and also kind. So this person, and also, my first teacher of Gestalt therapy, his name is Nifon Dolgopolov. He passed away several years ago. And he was a great person, very alive, very curious. And he taught me how to be with the other. Very important part of my life. In about 20 years ago, in the beginning of my education.
Back in Moscow, right? Or
it was a program in Kazakhstan.
Okay.
And sometimes we go to Moscow.
And well, you said it was difficult to live in a when you were a child in this environment, but would you say that it was also partly because of political situation? No.
In my childhood, it was, actually, yes, I was born in this transmission period from Soviet time. All my childhood was
like mine.
Around, yeah, we are similar in this. But for me, it's not so important. I think family situation was somehow not so good for me at that time.
And I'm also interested in this, what you said, that so many nationalities in one city, which is maybe a characteristic of many cities in your country, no? Or your specifically?
Yes, of course. But in Almaty, maybe it's most of all this diversity.
And what is helpful? What was helpful? What turned out helpful in this communication, cooperation?
It's interesting. It was so natural, and it is so natural for me to be like just human beings with each other, and not to mention any differences, and just to be together. I don't know. It's so natural.
And are your colleagues or friends also from different nationalities? How does it look like?
Yeah, of course.
So it's a completely different situation as I imagine, or tell me if I'm wrong, that like in Western European countries, or even European countries with, you know, that there is so much prejudice and racism.
Mm.
So it is not the case in your city, that much at least.
Yes, that much. I don't think it's ideal situation. Yes, of course, but you asked me about my values. This is my values. This is what I want to be with, and what I want to present like a person, like a Gestalt therapist, like a trainer. And I think I'm supported by people and by colleagues and my friends with this.
Okay, so tell me, how did you come to Gestalt in your 20s?
Yes, yes, it was
Oh.
20 years ago in my 20s. Actually, I mentioned my first teacher, trainer, and founder of Moscow Institute of Gestalt Psychodrama, Nifan. And I think I went after him. I saw him on psychological summer residence. I was a student, and I saw him, and I decided, okay, this is the person that I like, and I want to be a pupil of this person. Yeah, yeah. He was so simple, like you maybe, like simple in communication and very intellectual and very curious, and I like it a lot.
And you know that, so you followed him like you were still a student and you started a training.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. 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 Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
And then I decided that I like Gestalt therapy
Mm-hmm.
because this is a good way to be honest with myself, with uh, people around, yes, with everything. So, and it wasn't well. I think it's difficult to learn Gestalt psychotherapy.
Huh?
Yeah, but when you finally could understand something, it's very interesting to work and very interesting to be with people in this Gestalt field.
So what attracted you most in this teacher and in Gestalt? You said honesty.
Curiosity, sense of humor, yes, and I think like this, something like this. It was 20 years ago. I can hardly imagine what it was.
Uh-huh. And this teacher you mentioned, say again his name?
His name Nifant Dolgopolov.
Nifant.
Nifant.
And he was as where he was studying. I wonder who were his teachers. Do you know? I wonder.
Who is teachers? And yes, I know, of course. It's Jean-Marie Rabin and many American famous Gestalt therapists from Gatla.
From Catalan. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I am interested because in different parts of Europe, different teachers coming.
Yes.
It was not necessarily, Gatla or Jean-Marie Robin, different. Okay, and then when you, what happened next? If you could, develop this part with your Gestalt,
Yeah, I started to work even during this training, Gestalt training, I worked with refugee people, here in Kazakhstan. Well, and I can use that I learn in the same time, and it was good for my education and for my development and things.
And later, can you?
Mm-hmm.
Until now, I am thinking what happened, you know, in your career.
In my career. Later I work well, and I'm working right now a lot with children and families. So I have 20 years experience of working with children, and even now, yes, I established a program where I can teach psychologists with this. So I had this experience. I worked as a business trainer for some time. And for 10 years, I'm in private practice, and I work as a supervisor and trainer for now.
And this organization, you said, where you are sitting now, you set it up yourself with your colleagues?
Yeah.
How long ago?
About 9 years. 9 years.
9 years. And you work, you work also with children and families, or it's larger? I mean, you.
Yes, it's larger now. I work with adult person, adolescents, groups, many different people.
And during those years, what has been the most challenging for you within Gestalt therapy? Challenging, maybe difficult?
You know, I'm trying to balance between my personal life and work, because I think for me it's easier to be like a workaholic. My work is my passion, actually. You know, psychotherapy is such kind of a profession where you can do so many different things, to be with clients, to write articles, to invent some workshops. Yeah, and sometimes it's difficult to be out of this. So yes, for me, maybe the most difficult thing, just not to put in my schedule too many clients, too many groups. So I'm trying to balance with my therapist. I'm trying to find my limit.
I understand.
Maybe this was the most difficult thing for me.
But it means that, I mean, there is a large need in your city for therapy, for workshops, Gestalt way or humanistic way. Is it true?
Yes, I think so. Yes, I think so. I think my different colleagues have different opinions about this, but for me, it's always a lot of work. People come in, yes, and I can invent something and present it to someone who wants to participate, and I think almost always I have some interest.
So you said your colleagues have different opinions, so they feel
yes,
like different, like.
Some people from Gestalt therapy could say that it's not very good to work in Gestalt therapy because it's long. It's maybe sometimes too hard for persons, for clients, for patients. but I think it depends on contact, on approach, on style. So for me, it's not like this. I like Gestalt therapy. I do not combine it with another approaches. I think for me, it's important to work as a Gestalt therapist and to find the way how can I adjust to different clients and to different kind of situation. With clients, for example, with this COVID situation right now.
So you work online these days, or you work offline?
Both. I work online and also offline. It's not forbidden for now. We can meet with people personally and do small groups of 5.
Also.
For now, I don't know what will happen in a month. Yes, but for now it is so.
Right. And so I always ask also the question, because I ask the question, what Gestalt gave you, and also what are you giving to Gestalt? I mean, people understand this different ways, and yeah, I understood that you are now concentrated even on, you know, doing Gestalt in your city and in your country, and it is important as a president also of this NOCT. But maybe there are other, or maybe you can say something more about why you agreed to be a president. What was in your heart at that moment, and is probably.
Oh, for me, community is important. Community, yes. To be with other professionals is important for me, and to exchange with different styles, with different findings in Gestalt approach. That's why I decided to volunteer to be president, because well, it was a situation where when we need to keep our community alive, and I think it was the right moment for me when I could give something to Gestalt also, as you said.
And how does it look like? Do you meet, like there is a board?
Yes. Yes, we have a board, and every month we have a meeting.
And there is this.
And I was selected.
And there is this community meetings as well, once a year, for instance?
Yes, yes. About once a year we have big meeting. And also conferences once a year for all Kazakhstani Gestalt therapists. And we have Gestalt journal, which is published also every year.
Wow.
So we are trying to develop something in our community.
Great. So it seems it's working. Your dream is coming true in a way. And have you got other dreams about Gestalt and yourself?
Oh, yes. You know, I think this COVID situation is make a pause in my life for some months maybe, and I had time just to aware what I want to do next years. Yes, and I think that maybe I want to do some research or survey, because one of my last projects was seminars about gender, and all topics about gender, and I realized that we are in Gestalt psychotherapy in the training process when we teach Gestalt students. We actually pay very little attention to gender topics. So I think maybe it's even difficult to verbalize for me, but maybe I want to do some PhD or something like this with interdisciplinary research on this topic.
Yeah. On this topic, like how the situation look like in training programs, or how it could look like.
For me, it's not clear that much still. I only know that there are many blind spots in all this psychotherapy and training processes, and I don't know how to reach this by what, and I need some help. That's why I'm looking for some institutes where I could do some gender studies on this topic. So this is my dream, and I'm happy to share with you also.
Well, I guess I will connect later with you on that, okay?
Okay.
I won't expand on that now, but yeah.
Okay. It's interesting, yes.
Yeah, it is for me also what you're saying. Okay, and now, yeah, you said that and that. I wonder. Have you changed as a person thanks to Gestalt therapy? Would you say something like that, or your qualities got stronger, or I don't know?
Can you?
Yeah.
I think I didn't catch your question.
Yeah.
You mean
I mean, the thing
as
is,
a person?
Has Gestalt therapy during those years influenced you as a human being?
Oh, yeah. You know, I think that it's actually a very artificial situation when you are so much in close contact with many people. And I think it's actually changing me a lot. Sometimes I have sensation or feeling that I'm living too many lives with too many situations. And if I am just a person, not psychotherapist, not gestalt therapist, it wouldn't be so. So sometimes I'm thinking of that, how it's changing me to be with so many different fields in the same time. Lives, I don't know. And it's changing me.
It's interesting observation.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, very, very, very much. And you say artificial. So how do you resolve? How are you resolving that sense of artificiality, whatever?
I mean, no, it's not natural. It's not was founded by nature to be with all this stuff in the same time. Yeah. You mean how I cope with this?
Yes.
I'm trying to be delicate with myself, to assimilate things if I need so, to aware what is painful for me. when I meet something or someone who's which is very touching, some situation, something like that. And I think also it is something that I cannot even aware. So I think something is changing, but I don't know what is it. But I just know that it happens.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's in a way so obvious and so seldom brought up as a tension. I mean, obviously there are therapies who are perhaps as human beings so naturally so open, but I am I guess I am of the same opinion as you are. And I guess yeah, as trainees we are not often taught this way at the trainings, and this is an ethical almost issue, I would say.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also I meant, I realized that with years, my container is bigger. I can see it with I can see it by my new clients and topics they brought to the therapeutical situation. It's really painful traumas or something like this, and I think I can cope with this more year by year. It's also something that happened, and I can be with it.
Being at the same time, as you said, delicate with oneself and aware.
Yeah,
that is so natural. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I guess. Yeah, I asked you all I wanted to. Would you like to add anything when you were, thinking of the interview? Would you add something?
It was very interesting experience for me when I was preparing for this conversation. Somehow, I check some values, something from my biography, and so I really appreciate you for this. So thank you, Camille.
Yeah. Thank you, Veronika, for this interview.